level is something that I can never escape from. It's something that pull me towards a destiny and give me an even deeper or higher sense of meaning and purpose.
And how much was it the learning experience, or how much was it actually like sharing your knowledge and expertise with the community?
And what was the meaning and purpose that you picked up from the experience?
So I did go to the war and I did fight, and that is something that is very vivid and remains in your mind. There's a reason why people like to fight, because it's something that makes you feel alive. At the same time, war is a very bad thing. It destroys society. It creates a huge amount of suffering and hardship, and also loss of human life. But it's also important that in society that people have the ability to be able to go and fight for something they believe in, that it gives meaning to life, makes life extremely rich. And what is striking about Rojava is that you can go into the society and you can find people there who are working on so many different projects, but they're all driven by a common sense of historical destiny, by a shared vision of society that they want to create. Here is how we want to change the world. Not that we just want to exist, like going from one day to the next, like on a hamster wheel. That's the crisis in the West. And right now, this paralysis or this nihilism, as far as I can tell, the only people in Europe who are doing something which is like vaguely political, bringing people together with some like excitement and interest, is the right-wing people. And they're the ones that are now getting into political power. And right-wing is becoming extremely militant, well-organised, well-funded, and getting into political power. But they're the ones that are changing something in Europe. And a lot of people are being attracted to that and joining to those movements because they see something happening. Meanwhile, everybody else is withdrawn from politics, is withdrawn from life. Nobody know what do we do next? How do we go forwards?
Like, how did your experience on the front line actually like inspired you or enforced your belief in the mission?
So it's not just about the war, it's about like a revolutionary movement that want to transform all the different sectors of society. So what it did is give me the practical experience of like, what is it that create the change in the society? How do we do it?
Can you tell us about the project that you're working on now?
Yeah, now I'm training teams of revolutionary hackers that can be used to influence or shape the wider technology scene, to be an effective force in shaping the social world around us.
What kind of training are they going to undergo?
One of the main courses is the ideology training, because if you just can write code or build technology, then you're a tool that's being manipulated by bigger forces that you cannot perceive.
You expect people, when they undergo the training, they will stay in one space for 3 months or even longer?
Well, yeah, they're part of the organisation. They don't have any other responsibility, give up everything. So I'm going to join this and devote myself 100% to this, because we're talking about making like a global revolution, like a big change on a big level. So it's going to take like a huge amount of energy.
What if somebody's in a relationship or they married?
I think they have to like give that up, because like we're not here to like just like do other things. Like we're here to devote ourselves completely to something.
Will there be any kind of entertainment provided or encouraged during the time?
Yeah, we can climb mountains and sing songs, make great projects, go swimming, wrestle, like can do uplifting activities.
So what's some of the ideas behind the philosophy?
First of all, we have to understand that there are two forms of power. So a good way of like conceptualizing this difference between the coercive power and the power to influence is that the master, he controlled the slave, and the slave obeyed the will or the orders or the commands of the master, because the slave is afraid of death. That form of power is very transitory. After the master dies, the slave is no longer afraid of death, so he no longer follows the order of the master. So, for instance, when you join the military, one of the first lessons that they give you in the military is that they knock the hat off of your head, and you pick up the hat, you put it on your head, and they knock it off again, and then you pick up it and put it on your head. They keep doing that, and the whole point is to train people not to question orders, just to follow the order that he's given by somebody else, without trying to think about its meaning or its intent. There was another form of sovereign power, different from the master-slave, that the sovereign individual is noble, and that he is driven towards his goal or his vision, and no danger can stop him except for the one danger that will murder him. And even with that, he becomes stronger, and that through his will and his drive is something that influences other people to also go towards that goal or direction. Politics is the study and practice of coercive power. How do we use the reward and the punishment to create a system of control in the society, a mechanical system, where everybody in the society operate according to some will that is outside of themselves. Like, for instance, today, people work in jobs their entire lives, jobs that they know has no meaning or purpose whatsoever, that they absolutely hate to do that work, but to earn money to be able to pay their rent. And so that's the basis of politics, which is that it doesn't matter what new